Greetings, everybody. It is morning for me. I'm starting off with my morning coffee, and I'm opening up this video for my Unstuff Your Kindle or Unstuff Your TBR reading challenge, summer edition. So, I wanted to come in because I am 4% into my first book for this reading challenge, which is going to be Maybe for the Summer by Aubrey Penn. Yeah, when I knew we were doing like a summer edition, I knew I needed to start with this one. Let's get into like this gorgeous cover. This is everybody's favorite Aubrey Penn so far, and I knew I put her on my authors to try this year because I had never read anything from her. I do have an omnibus of hers that has like 8 books in it, but I said, no. I'm going straight to the top. Like, I don't have time to play around and try to figure out what I want to read because her Ganton Hill series is like, I feel like it's like 52 books long. And so I said, okay, well, let me just jump in with everybody's favorite. This one here, court cover is gorgeous. I want a special edition real bad. I do know that she is opening her shop periodically for this release. So the next time she opens it, I want to have read this book so I can cop it. Now, this one is a story about our MMC, whose name is Lucci, real name Julius, stage name is Lucci, and he is a rap artist. Now, we kick this book off with Lucci getting dropped from his record label because Lucci has that bad boy persona. He is always fighting, he is caught in the news, and the label is like, hey, we're done. Like, we gave it a shot, it's not working out. Well, come to find out, the real tea behind the story is that Lucci is getting dropped, but his record label is also filing for bankruptcy and they're trying to sell off artists. Now, that's not a spoiler. We find out in chapter 2, and we find it out because our FMC Daisha is actually the VP of communications for this company that she's working for. And or actually, let me take that back. She's working to get a promotion to become the VP of communication. Right now, she's just working with her team and she's trying to get that promotion. However, it leaks that the Treason Entertainment company, which Lucci is a part of, is actually filing for bankruptcy. And the email came from her email account. However, she did not send it. Yeah, there's snakes in the grass at her company. Now, someone from her team really did her dirty and used her email to leak it to their siblings' magazine company. Now, the reason why I'm coming on here is because I literally was just talking about it yesterday, how much I hate like when you feel like you got to watch your back at your job because somebody wants to tear you down. Someone it has it out for you and you feel like you got to watch what you say, watch what you do because they're preying on your downfall. That's exactly what happened with Daisha. And I'm like, okay, let's see how she bounced back. The problem is I know that Daisha is going to meet Lucci at some point, right? Like I know that their paths are going to intertwine because it's a romance book. That's what's going to happen. The problem we are going to see is that she has a non-compete clause. And so while Lucci may be the one to get her back in the game, she technically can't do it for legal reasons. And that's when rubber is going to hit the road. So I'm going to continue reading this, let you know my thoughts. But in the meantime, I also want you to know that I will be reading The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest, which comes out, I believe, like the first week of June. I do have an ARC copy. She will be coming to St. Louis, so I will be seeing her. I also plan to read The Close Up by Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan will actually be here tomorrow. Will I have this read? No. But I am going to read this. You're probably going to get some footage of me going to see her, listening to her speak. But I want to read this one because it's giving me Summer Island vibes. This one is a second chance romance novella that I do have the audiobook, so I'm going to read it together with this one because I just want to be transported to somebody's island. I want to be on vacation personally because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And I like to travel for the summer, so this one is going to transport me there. So those are my reading plans. I'll talk to you all fairly soon. Okay, it's 2 seconds later, but I just want to say, Mark, come meet me outside in front of my car, please, because what you mean, you just cost me my last paycheck and 10 years worth of my vested 401k. Sir, I'm about to put belts behind because you got me all the way messed up. I'm 40% into maybe for the summer, and I am running hot because what's about to make me go off on all of the characters in this book is the fact that why do y'all keep taking food out of my mouth when I'm the one feeding y'all? That is where some of these characters are really starting to piss me off. Like the last time I came in to check in with y'all was at 4%. I'm now at 40%. At the 4% mark, I told you somebody that works with Daisha decided to use her email to say that she leaked news about Treason Entertainment. Now at 40%, someone has gone and has said, oh, yeah, Lucci is releasing new music that Treason ENT did not sign off to, and Daisha is working on the album, and she's like a executive producer or something, knowing it's already a conflict of interest for her to even be working with this man. And I'm saying someone, I think we all have a strong suspicion of who it is. I think it's very, very clear who it is. And if that is truly the case, my boy, you're going to be on a list that I've got coming up soon. You are going to be one that I'm going to go in depth. Like, I don't want to make no accusations right now because Aubrey could tell me that I'm wrong because I've never read from Aubrey Print, and she may be setting me up for the okie doke and it's somebody else. But the way that she's writing this and the way I think it's going, I'm going to just say it. I think it's Kizzy. And if that is truly the case, I already have a justification as to why he doing this, why he's acting out and showing his behind. But baby, if that's the case and his mama find out, it's not gonna be nothing pretty. Okay, I'm here to do a check-in. I feel like this vlog is not working in my favor, but I'm here to tell you I finished maybe for the summer, and it's everything that y'all said it was. Like, the girls that get it. Like, they love this book down, and I understand why. R.B. Prin wrote something with Daisha and Lucci that like is unbreakable. Their bond is beautiful to see. When I tell you that this woman literally will walk over broken glass to get to her man and to save him from destruction, and he appreciates that and knows that that is his access in which his world is revolving around, and if she's not in the picture, he's gone off the deep end. That is this story. And get granted, let me say this. In some context, I can see where somebody be like, oh, this is toxic. However, he's doing the work of going to therapy in this book to be able to correct some of his bad behaviors. And truly know that this has some triggers because he has PTSD and he is a recovering addict, and there are scenes in here that are difficult to read. There's two scenes in particular that I was like, bro, I'm gonna need to take a break. This is emotionally, gripping, but in the best way that I love it. Like, this gives me the thought process of couples that are going to stay together. Daisha is a real one. That young lady held down her man, and she was like, I don't care what you got to say about it. I don't care if it's my mama, my daddy, my cousins. And let me say this, the cousins are warranted. However, once they realized that, she wasn't coming up off her man, I felt like I wanted to see what that conversation looked like towards the end, because the thing about Lucci got her parents together. Now, there was a situation that happened with her dad and his health. And Daisha was like, I can't function. Like, baby, I want to be here for you, but I also need to be here for my parents. Like, her parents are older. And as a person who very much has older parents, I can relate to like you being the person that has to come through and do the things. You got to set your personal stuff aside to care for your parents. Her parents had her when they were 50. Now, unfortunately, they put all their hopes and dreams into that one child. They were like, oh, you are a miracle baby. And her mom even said, hey, we have had you this entire time to ourselves. You've been living your life in fulfillment of what makes us happy. And we don't like this new man coming around and telling you, you know what I'm saying, and taking you away from us. Specifically because he's not what they had in mind. Lucci came in and shut all of that down. He said, hey, I respect that you are parents. I respect that, you know, your daughter is your provider and your caregiver. However, that's a grown woman. Now, if you're a person that's like, family drama is cool, but I'm really here for the romance, don't worry. He has you covered. When I tell you that, like, their love language is acts of service and physical touch, they mean that. Like, he and her have a thing going on. Like, they can't be apart from one another. This man was locked up for 24 hours. It was like, I need to be where you are at all time. Like, I can't go to sleep if you're not in a bed next to me. I need you to understand you don't have to want for anything. Like, I got you in any by any means necessary. He calls her butterfly, and like they go to get matching tattoos, and that is like a sub trope that I love. But their tattoos mean so much, and it's so significant to them. And like no time really has passed, but they know that they're each other's soulmates. So like if you're looking for something that has like some urban elements to it, know that this one also has that because it definitely has gang activity. I have read my fair share of urban romance this year and last year, and Aubrey Penn does something I have never felt and seen on page. Like this is really giving Cali from the streets. That scene that happens at the club where he sees the people in the crowd and he like, oh, I know what's gonna go down. Get my woman up out of here, and I'm gonna handle business. And I'm like, my heart was pumping, and the way she wrote that scene where it dropped off at the end, I was in the parking lot at the Dollar Tree. Like, I need to go get all of this stuff for a graduation party, but I'm not leaving my car until I know what's happening. Like, I'm parked. The man next to me is looking at me, and he like, you okay? Baby, I'm not okay. I am going through it. Aubrey Penn is taking me to task, but I had a great time. Check this out if you're looking for something that gives you all of the feels. And when I do mean all the feels, like angry, betrayal, sadness, happiness, steam, spice, whatever you need, this one has you covered. Now I'm here to tell y'all about the close up. The close up, so far, I'm about 30% in, having a good time. Y'all know if Kennedy writes it, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna have a good time. Just off the fact that she knows what she's doing. Now, this is a forbidden romance. This is about our female main character, Takira. Takira is a makeup artist and a hairstylist for celebrities, movies, modeling, you name it. Now, she currently gets a job with Lotus, who is our FMC from Hookshot in the Hoop series. And so she is now finding herself in a situation where she is brought back into the orbit of Naz. Now, Naz is a professional NBA basketball player, and she hasn't seen him in about 12 years. Now, we start off with a prologue of her and Naz meeting the first time while she is hosting a family dinner. And her brother, who is a basketball player at the time, that starts off with them set in high school. Now, her brother and him are on the same basketball team for this private school. Her brother is the star of the basketball team, and he is the second string, and he is riding the bench. Now this entire time, her brother is like, hey, you can't talk to none of my teammates. Like, I've already warned them off of you. You don't be the one to make me have to tussle with the boys. And so she's like, I don't want your little friends. They ain't about nothing no way, until Naz walks in. Now, they have like this special connection as Kim Smith. Like, he looks at her, she looks at him, and like, you fine, you different. Like, who is you? I never seen you before. And so like later on that night, they spend time on the roof getting to know each other, like talking about their dreams, talking about their traumas. They just really bond and connect over, you know, just a mutual understanding and likeness of one another. Now, they get a little bit hot and heavy. They are 18 at the time. Yes, they are in high school, but they are both consenting. They're both of the same age. It's not an issue. They get a little bit of hot and heavy, and then the brother comes up and puts a kibosh to that. Now, again, I told you they haven't seen each other in 12 months. Now they're back, and she is like, oh, he's fine. However, I can't talk to him because the fact still remains my brother sees him as the op. Like, my brother has gone through hell because in high school, that next day after they have their connection and their moment, Nas takes the spotlight unintended because her brother does something and it causes him to be benched. He has lost all of the scholarships. He has lost his way, and Nas starts begins to rise, and he starts to get a lot of publicity. He then again now comes into the NBA, and so it gets to be one of the situations where her brother has started to like get involved with drugs, and it's very hard on him. And she's like, I don't want to cause him any more hardship because anytime he sees you or anytime he hears your name, he is triggered by you. And if I started dating you, it'll really become an issue. And Naz is like, he doesn't know this. Now, he doesn't know. He has a little bit of guilt. He has a little bit of remorse, but it's not because he was at fault. It's just because that's how the cards were dealt. And he's trying to say, like, I will do anything to, be back with you and see where this could go, but I also want your brother to be fine. And so it gets to be a situation where like the chemistry is there, the intention is there, the desire is there, but will they act on it or not? And I haven't seen what's the thing that kicks off their romance, but just knowing that the tension is built up, the stakes are high, I'm ready. Hey y'all, I'm out of town, but I am here to wrap up this summer reading vlog. I have since finished The Close Up by Kennedy Ryan, as well as a novella by Maya known as The Summer's Solace. So let's start with The Close Up. Y'all, Kennedy Ryan did something different with this one. Like, we're used to seeing really emotional, really heavy topics discussed, and that's no different in this one. It's just that the spice is on the heater meter of 1,000 suns. She gave us the closest thing that I think we're ever going to get to an erotica from her in this one. Y'all, they had not seen each other for 12 years. And they said, oh, let's make up for lost time in every one of that. Let's christen every part of this cruise, every island we go to. Let's just have a kiki. And I was there for it. Like, I was reading some things on the plane and I was just listening and I was just like smiling, cheesing from ear to ear. Like, I'm gonna insert a image now of me just having a time. But I will say I loved how she was realistic to the characters. Like, the conversation that Nas had with her about how like she needed to realize that the world didn't revolve around Cliff, her brother, and that he was not going to give her up. Like, he was not going to miss his opportunity. He did that 12 years ago. The man he is today said, hey, I'm claiming everything that is rightfully mine, and you are one of those. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a grown man right there. The way he just wanted to provide for her, protect her, give her care, like, this is caretaking and like loving your woman, knowing that she could do everything herself. Like, she could get anything that she wanted, but he would give it to her. Like, he said, yeah, I'm a man of means, but I'm also a man that has acts of service down. You need somebody to wash your face, I'm gonna wash it for you. You want somebody to rub you down, like, you care for everybody else with your natural profession. Obviously you care too much for your brother because you're sacrificing your life and your happiness for him. Let me be the one to care for you. He said something, some kind of line of like, his pain, which is Cliff's pain, her brother, is her pain, and now because he loves her so bad, her pain is now Naz's pain. And I'm like, I want somebody to love me wholly like that. Like, and I was very appreciative of her family not like shunning her and being like, hey, go for it. Like, you deserve happiness too, y'all. But just as much as I love the love between them, the love scenes, baby, that was getting in. And I'm not going to get into it because, again, I'm here with my family and I don't want to talk about too much. Just know they was fucking. Okay, so let's talk about The Close Up really quickly. The Close Up by Maya is a novella, and woo wee. Emotionally, I teared up, which is strange to me because they didn't get together. They didn't actually come in to meet each other until 50% of the book. Now, I typically hate a slow burn that is in this manner, meaning like, why did I get 50% of the way and again, and y'all have not crossed paths with one another? But it worked here because this book is centered around grief. Y'all, it is very, very grief heavy. There are some serious trigger warnings in this. You have loss of a parent, loss of a spouse. You have attempted unaliving yourself. Like, it is a lot going on. But the way in which Maya wrote those scenes were so beautiful. She really captured me as a reader emotionally. And I'm like, okay, there's flashbacks. There was a call and response for these characters. They have to go through their individual hurts, right? Like, you start off heavy. The first two chapters is one from her point of view, in which she found out she lost her husband, and the second point of view, and the second chapter is him losing his mom. And they handle grief completely different. Like, she is isolated. She goes to herself and she really takes it hard to the point of where she's contemplating, like, do I need to be here? Whereas he goes away from his family, but he starts losing himself in his vices. He starts partying really hard. He starts bringing women home left and right. And I actually thought I was going to hate it. And because, like, why are you literally sleeping with everyone else? Like, it's community pain at this point. Like, he is out giving it to everybody. This man just giving it up. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to read an MMC that's slutting it out in the streets. However, that is how people process their grief. And Maya did such a good job of making it like known that was what he was experiencing. It was the way in which he was taking it out from a physical standpoint, where hers was very emotional. And so being able to see the different ways in which people grieve, the different triggers in which people have. She did a fantastic job. They met each other at grief counseling. Like, he was forced to go to grief counseling because he was court mandated. He did some things in terms of his spiral that led him to having to go to grief counseling. And her best friend, which is her soul community, like, her best friend Toya loved her down real bad, but she was like, you're lashing out at me and you don't know my story. And so, like, when she said, you told me I didn't know, and Toya, like, bared her soul to her, she was like, okay, I'm going to take your advice because you've been there. And, like, that was such a beautiful moment for these two best friends to deepen their friendship and get to know each other better because of a shared experience. And Toya was like, started, take it one day at a time, go on a walk, go to counseling, do these things. These are the steps that help me. And she listened. Like, being able to listen and being able to know, like, somebody loves you and is not pushing you, but they're trying to help you out. And so they meet at therapy. And she sees the way in which he is spiraling. And she's like, hey, I'm not here to judge you. I'm doing some of the same things just differently. And I can be a listening ear. So she's like, take my number, call whenever. He does that. He automatically has an attraction for her, but as he's listening to her story and he's listening to her hurt and pain, he's like, I'm not going to cross that threshold. Like, you're offering to be a friend and I need a friend really bad right now. And so he takes her up on it, and they start this friendship, talking on the phone. They start to develop feelings. And he realizes when she is at her lowest point, he was like, you brought me out of my place. Let me bring you out of yours. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful blossoming story. But again, keep in mind, they're experiencing things. So the way you see him acting on page, it's a reason. The way you see her acting it on page, it's a reason. So you can be upset and you can be like, well, why would you do that? Grief, despair, depression. All of that is reflected on page. So again, it's very, very heavy. Now, it's very, very insta heavy. Like, once that 50%, once they meet, maybe they're going from here to the moon. Like, you're like, you do know that you were just married to a man. How are we doing this? How are we here with this man? Now, there's some magical realism in it, and she gets this messaging, and that messaging is what frames her like, this is your person. Like, she feels her conscience is clear, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. And I would think that their parents and their families would be like, how you moving on from my son so fast? You supposed to be grieving your mother. Why you up under a woman? What's going on? But again, their families are going through a loss as well. So their families are very much understanding, like, hey, this person helped you out. This person saved your life. This person is why we're here today, and they're supporting it. Like, it is so good. But again, there's some things that you have to suspend your belief. Like, you got to put it on the shelf and be like, this person just came, like, your ex just came out of the bag on you, and this is how y'all acting, and then y'all like, oh yeah, we go together now. You sure about that? You don't know this man. But again, everybody's love story looks different. Everybody's relationship looks different. I'm really enjoyed it. I'm 90% of the way through, but I need to close out this vlog because I cannot do this anymore. I need to end this vlog here. So I will be reading The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest, which I told you I'll be reading that later, just not for this vlog. I really enjoyed myself. This is your Unstuff Your Kindle and your reminder to get through the books that are on your bookshelf or on your Kindle because y'all have some gems. I loved every single book. So I loved Maybe for the Summer, delicious. Gave me urban fiction. I loved reading The Close Up, gave me spice. I am thoroughly enjoying Summer Solace. It's giving me emotions. That's all I need. Y'all have a good day. Leave me a sun emoji for summer, or tell me a book that you want to read that has summer in the title. Talk to y'all later. Bye.